What's up, guys? It's Johnny Venezia from RotoWire. Today, we're doing something a little bit different, getting away from prospects for this video. We're going to talk about 5 players in the major leagues that I'm a little bit panicked on. Let's get right into it. Number 1, I think Rafael Devers is somebody that we need to keep our eye on. While he's hitting the ball hard, and it's only a matter of time that we think he probably figures it out and gets back to being that 30 home run guy, he struggled a little bit. 228 average, just 1 home run. He's got nearly a 31% K rate. The 98 WRC plus is the lowest of his career to this point. And while Rafael Devers is a guy that we know can provide a lot of fantasy pop and a lot of value, I don't know if it's age catching up with him a little bit, or maybe the approach is a little bit off, but this is not the guy that I think you would have expected to draft in the early rounds of your fantasy league this year. So keep an eye on Rafi. I wouldn't give up on him just yet, but it's definitely a situation that I would monitor pretty closely. The next one I'm a little bit more concerned about, and that's Trea Turner. 217 average, just 1 home run. He's got 4 steals, which is okay, but his on-base percentage, only .308. That's not very good. And a guy who's very reliant on speed and scoring runs and creating havoc on the bases, you got to get that OBP up. And Trea Turner is somebody that I feel like we've seen a lot of just splash in Washington and the Dodgers, and he's been okay in the Phillies. Definitely not the guy that we saw about 10 years ago now, but Trea Turner's also struggling with the hard hit percentage, just 30.2%. That's way down from his career, and just a 79 WRC plus. In a loaded Phillies lineup, you think he would figure it out and play his role, which is just getting on base and stealing and getting in and letting guys like Bryce Harper drive him in. But I would definitely look at Trea Turner as somebody to proceed with caution. The panic meter for me on a scale of 10 is probably about a 6.5 at the moment, although it is an early part of the season in the middle of April. If you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like button. And right now, RotoWire is going to give you 15% off of any product at rotowire.com, our top 400 prospect rankings, prop picker tool, and access to our experts for those tough start-sit decisions. Use code ROTO15 at checkout, which also, by the way, gives you access to my plenty of college baseball weekend articles. We're going to focus on pitchers now. Guys that I think are maybe getting a little bit long in the tooth, a lot of miles on those arms, a lot of pitches, a lot of innings. Once upon a time, great aces, Cy Young contenders. It's been a little bit rough for them. And the first one's going to be Luis Castillo. This is a guy who's near and dear to my heart. I would say back somewhere in like 2018, when he was with the Reds, when I thought that big breakout was going to come, I had him as a preseason Cy Young contender. I thought with the Reds, he was definitely going to be capable of getting there. And, you know, with Seattle, it rejuvenated his career. He was also a guy picked to win the Cy Young a couple of years ago, but of course he had to fold at the end there. Castillo's going with a 4.22 ERA right now. 19.1 K percentage, which is declining from his career bests. 43.1% hard hit rate, which is a career high to this point. 94.6 fastball velo seems good, but that's down from last year. And honestly, the last few years, his fastball is declining by 1 to 1.5 miles per hour, which doesn't seem like a lot, but 94 miles an hour these days, these major league hitters, that's almost like batting practice to them. So if you're not able to get that fastball velo up, you have to be making up for it in a lot of ways. And Luis Castillo was the ace for Seattle the last couple of years, and now Logan Gilbert's slotting into that ace spot. And it's unfortunate because we've seen the decline in real time. Every year, Castillo just declines a little bit, and he's still a good player, but this isn't the guy that you would have drafted to be your number 1 or even number 2 at this point. So I would definitely keep my eye out on Castillo. Could expect to have a solid year, but I don't think I would be looking for him to be that guy that's getting north of 220 strikeouts anymore with a 3 ERA. This might be a new Castillo we're seeing. Chris Sale, the reigning Cy Young winner. Absolute renaissance year last year, which was very surprising at 35 years old. We know what he could do 10 years ago. We know the kind of stuff he has and just the kind of efficiency and effectiveness that has made him famous. And last year he harnessed it with the Braves, which is sort of like just a complete overhaul and blast from the past. But Now he's off to a rough start this year, which regression was bound to hit, but it's a 6.63 ERA, a 1.53 whip. The 27.3 K percentage is down from last year's 32.1% in this small sample size. 35.1 hard hit percentage is up from last year's 30.7. And the 36% width on his slider is down from 42.7% last year. And we know that Chris Sale's slider, that big sweeping slider, is his money pitch. That's where he generates so many of his strikeouts, so many of his chases, and what's really helped him in his career. So Chris Sale is a guy that I'm probably more panicked on. I would say it's 7.5 because he's also 36 years old. I mean, he's dealt with a lot of injuries in his career, and while it was great to see him turn it back from last season, I don't think we can expect the same thing. I think Chris Sale more than likely is going to regress to the mean for somebody that's 36 years old. While I wouldn't jump ship just yet, I would definitely keep my eye on him. And, maybe if you can work out a trade at somewhere down the line, if somebody's willing to take a bite on him, if he continues these struggles in the next few weeks, I would definitely look to explore other options. Last but not least, Aaron Nola, Philadelphia Phillies, has done something that's very bizarre these last 5 years. In years that are even, like 2020, 2022, 2024, his ERA is sub 3.6. But when you get to the odd years, 21, 23, and now 25, his ERA is 4.4 or higher. I don't know if he doesn't like odd years or what the deal is there, but he's out to a really rough start. 6.65 ERA, a 1.66 whip, a 9.2 barrel percentage, which would be a career high. Aaron Nola is going to get a lot of run support in Philadelphia. He's part of a very elite rotation, which is challenging the Dodgers for probably the best in the league. But now he's getting up there in age. He's not old, but he's pushing 32. He's got a lot of miles on his arm. And while we're going to see him probably get a lot of wins, this is a guy that might be north of a 4 ERA last year. The strikeouts are pretty decent, but the fact is he's giving up a lot of hard hits and a lot of barrels, which can lead to home runs and it can lead to extra base hits. And that balloons an ERA and that kills your pitch count. So Aaron Nola, panic meter, I would say, is about a 6 right now. I wouldn't give up on him just yet because he's still going to provide some value, but this is not the guy that I would expect to see what we have in the past from him.